At the beginning of the film, we see a girl named Peg who is getting married, and outside, we see a group of strange people wearing strange masks made of triangular jute. Actually, these people were going to Peg's wedding. There was also a goat with them. Again, we see Peg in another scene who feels unwell. When she comes out to vomit, she sees the group's goat outside. On the other hand, when Peg's husband does not see Peg for some time, he comes out looking for her. He panics when he does not find Peg outside, but he finds Peg's ring outside. Then the scene is cut right there, and we are shown a woman in the present time who happily hangs herself. No one bothers to find out what kind of woman she is, and her body remains hanging from a rope for many days. And it started rotting very badly. Then one day suddenly the rope broke, and the body of that woman fell down. Then the neighbors came to know from the smell of the dead body that this woman is dead. Then the service boys come and take her away. The woman's daughter, Shu, is told about her death. She is very shocked to hear about her mother's death. Then Shu comes to stay at her mother's house with her friend Mill. Shu is very frightened when she sees a picture of Jesus, and the sign of the cross in the house. Shu's condition starts to deteriorate. Mill tries to calm her down. Then Shu comes out of the house to smoke a cigarette just. Then a message comes on her phone. It was from her nursing home company, saying that they are going to send her to the home of an old woman. Woman had memory loss as well as other illnesses. The next day, Shu leaves for that house. Mill comes to drop her off at the bus stop. Shu asks the bus driver about the old woman's address, but the driver did not know anything about the address. Shu then tries to ask another man for the address, so the man, looking at the address, started warning Shu not to go there, but seeing Shu's determination, the man tells him the address of the old woman. Then as Shu reaches near the house, he sees a child there who has a small goat, and that child was staring at Shu mysteriously. Ignoring the children, Shu knocks on the door of the house then, as soon as the old woman comes to open it. But as soon as she reaches the door, she urinates and that woman runs away from there and hides. The woman was very embarrassed by her action, seeing the condition of that woman. Shu understood that this woman is very ill, and to open the door, Shu reluctantly had to break the glass and open the door. Then Shu realized that this woman is trying to hide from him. While searching for that old woman, Shu sees a strange red door. That door opens. There was also a horseshoe hanging on the door. Shu looks at the door very carefully and thinks that the horseshoe keeps negative energy away. She was thinking this when she felt Somyeon passed behind her very fast, and when he looked, it was an old woman, and because of moving so fast, the woman had dropped the bean seeds. Then without saying anything to her, Shu started picking up the bean seeds. Then the old woman asked Shu, "Have you come here to do all this?" Shu said, "I am going to take care of you." Then a casual conversation started between them, and the old woman tells Shu her name is Peg, and we come to know that this old woman is the same girl who was shown to us in the beginning of the film, who disappeared on her wedding day. How did Peg come to this place? All this mystery will be revealed in the end, so please watch the video till the end, and to support us, like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And then, when Shu talks about giving her a bath, Peg does not let him touch her body. She makes Shu do her small chores and starts taking a bath herself. When Peg was getting dressed, Shu saw that there was a tree on her back. There is a mark like the root of the tree. Then Shu tells Peg that I have to make a call and also have to rest a little. Then Peg pointed to the phone kept in front of her and sighed, "EB, you can rest here if you want." Then Shu called her friend, but her phone was not connected. Shu was about to hang up and leave when suddenly a call came, and on picking up the phone, she found out that the call was from the nursing home for her. They were telling her about Peg's condition. Meanwhile, Peg came behind her and asked her whether she was talking to someone. Shu said that the call was from the nursing home for her. Then Peg asked Shu a strange question. "Did you confirm that the call was really from the nursing home?" Shocked by this question, Shu just nods her head. Then Shu takes Peg to her room so that she can rest. Shu also sees the photo of her family and her husband. Then she asks Peg what happened to her husband. Peg replied that he took his own life. Then both of them start talking. Peg asks Shu whether she is married. Shu says yes to this. Then Shu says that I am going to marry Mila soon. And here we come to know that both these girls are lesbians. After this, Shu comes out of the house and again starts calling her friend. After trying many times, her call gets connected, and she starts talking to her friend. She tells Mila that I will come back to you soon. Just when Shu was talking to her friend, suddenly Shu's eyes fall on a tree. A lot of candles were burning around it, and a lot of ribbons were hanging on the tree. These trees were planted at places where there was a lot of negative energy, and clothes and other belongings of sick people were tied to these trees. The people there believed that the way this tree absorbs negative energy, the tree also absorbs the diseases of sick people and cures them. And this is where a strange incident happens with Shu. She felt that her mother was standing behind her, but as soon as she turned to look at her mother, there was no one there. Then Shu comes inside the house and first goes to the red door and tries to open its lock. But when the lock of the door does not open, she goes to take a bath. While taking a bath, Shu feels as if someone is whispering something in her ear, but there was no one in the toilet or outside the toilet. Then suddenly she hears some sound. She feels that these sounds are coming from Peg's room, and when she goes to her room, she sees that Peg is sleeping. Shu was still in Peg's room when Peg started having a strange panic attack. Then Shu tries to control her by giving her medicine, and then she saw that Peg was talking properly even in her sleep. Peg was saying that these people like music very much. They come attracted by the music. Then Shu asks her who are those people. She said in her sleep that some people live under this house, but Shu does not pay attention to her words, because she thought that Peg has a mental illness, and she kept having hallucinations. The next day, Shu goes to buy groceries for the house. The people of that place ask Shu about Peg's well-being, and then they start making fun of Peg. Shu does not like this behavior of those people. Then the local people told Shu that Peg did not behave well with anyone. On his way back, Shu meets a girl. The girl tells Shu that Peg has been in a mental asylum for many years. Then Shu comes home, and at night Shu decides to go to the same red room. And this time the red door opens. Then as Shu goes inside the room, she sees strange masked people in the room, and at the same time, she sees a glimpse of her dead mother in the bathtub. Shu quickly goes to her mother and holds her hand, and then her mother opens her eyes. Then suddenly Shu gets scared, and we see that seeing Shu in such a condition, her friend is laughing at her, and then Shu wakes up, and we find out that all this was her nightmare. Then Shu gets up and goes to check on Peg. Then Peg tells Shu that if Shu does not take care, then they will take you along with me. Shu did not pay attention to her this time too, by thinking that Peg is ill, but Peg said that those people are cultists. They will take you and me. Once they had taken me too, then Peg revealed the incident of her wedding day. When she disappeared from her wedding, actually the members of that cult had taken Peg away on the wedding day. And when her husband came to know about this, he tried to deal with the cultists. Peg said that when my husband made the deal, those cultists made some strange marks on my back as a punishment. Then Shu said that I thought that this mark is because of your husband's torture. But Peg says that no, my husband was a very kind person. Then Peg told Shu when asked if she knew about the punishment. Shu showed her hand and said, my mother used to torture me a lot to pray. If I made any mistake, she would burn me. Then Peg asked, where is your mother now? Shu told her that she had hanged herself. Feeling Shu's pain, Peg said, I am not happy with my mother. Peg asked her to sleep with her. Then as the day begins, Shu now thinks of finding out the truth. What was really in that basement? After finding the key to the basement, she opens the red door, and when she goes downstairs, she finds a storeroom. Here she finds Peg's wedding album. The album has a picture of Peg and her husband. It also has many newspaper clippings. On those pieces it was written that Peg disappeared on her wedding day, and when she returned home, her husband died as soon as she returned. People believed that Peg herself killed her husband. For this reason, Peg had to stay in a mental asylum for many years. While reading all this, suddenly the lights of the basement start flickering, and when Shu tries to get out of there in fear, the basement door suddenly closes, and she feels her mother's presence behind her. Shu gets scared. She starts screaming in fear. Then she tries to open the door. After a lot of effort, the door finally opens, and she runs out of there. Then in the next scene we see that the same child has come near this house, whom Shu saw on the first day while coming here, and that day he also had a goat in his hand. Then that boy asks Shu, "Have you seen my goat anywhere?" Shu replies no to this question and sends the kid away. Then Shu gets a parcel which contains some of her mother's belongings. She panics after seeing it because she did not have a good relationship with her mother, and she gets emotional after seeing her belongings. The box contained the same clothes which she had seen her mother wearing in her dreams. Then out of fear, Shu burns those clothes in the furnace. Due to sending this parcel, Mila and Shu fight a lot. After this incident, Shu feels that she has also become mentally traumatized like Peg due to extreme stress. So she goes to the medical store and takes some medicines for herself by showing Peg's prescription, so that her mental condition becomes fine. Then when Shu returns home, she sees that someone has come from the nursing center to check her up, and Peg is chasing that woman away because Peg feels threatened by that woman. But Shu is not able to stop that woman. She asked her to come inside the house, but on the other hand, Peg was not opening the door. So Shu goes to get the duplicate key. As soon as Shu leaves, we see from behind that the woman was really mysterious. She stuck to the door and started sniffing it, and when Shu returned and opened the door, the woman had disappeared from there, and this incident made Shu more worried and surprised than before. Now Shu was even more desperate to know what was happening. Shu again goes to the basement and courageously brings Peg's photo album, in which the story of Peg's entire life was written. Then she sees that inside Peg's photo album, there are also torn pieces of the newspaper containing her mother's suicide. Seeing this, Shu starts thinking, what is the relationship between Peg and my mother? Just when she was thinking about all these things, when she saw that the red door of the basement is opening again and again, she was closing that door again and again out of fear. But now that door was not closing. Meanwhile, Peg also follows her, and she said to Shu, "I know you went to the basement, and now it will be better for you if you go back tomorrow." Shu did not want to stay there even for a moment. When Shu left to go to her house, she came to know from the grocery store that no bus will go to her city today. That is why she had to come back to Peg's house. On the other hand, Peg was looking at Shu's box, which Mila had sent for her. It had many pictures of Shu's mother, seeing which Peg was surprised. And this is where we come to know that Shu's mother was Peg's daughter, and Shu was Peg's granddaughter. On the other hand, when Shu was returning to Peg's house, through the forest, she sees that kid's goat on the way. Shu sees the goat and thinks that she will take it with her, but she ignores him and comes home. On reaching home, Peg asks her, "Did your mother have both legs bad?" Shu asks in surprise, "How do you know? I never told you this." Then Peg tells him, "I know everything about your mother. Because I am your grandmother, your mother was my daughter. I sent her away from me many years ago." Then Shu asks, "Why did you do this?" Then Peg tells him that my husband had made a deal with those cultists, that if they will leave me alive, so we will give our first daughter or son to them. But when your mother was born, I could not give her to the cultists. That is why I kept her away from me, and broke the promise made to the cultists. The people of that cult were not ordinary. Their powers and negative energy is very high. Shu's mother had gone far away from there, but even then, the negative energy of the cult remained on her, due to which Shu's mother took her own life. Now Shu was starting to believe what Peg said. Then Shu asks, "What is this cult after all?" So Peg tells her that it is a demonic cult. Their cult worships the devil. Then during their conversation, the door of their house is knocked again, and when Shu goes and looks, it is the same woman who had come to their house earlier and disappeared. When Shu does not open the door, then the woman starts whispering mysteriously that "I will kill you" from Dalungi's words. Shu understood that this woman was also a member of the cult. Then Shu came inside the house in fear, and she saw that Peg was standing at the door of the cellar. Then Peg went there and started singing. Then Shu asked, "What are you doing here?" Then Peg told her that "I am calling those cultists." As soon as she said this, the cellar door closed. Then Shu tried hard to open the door, but the door did not open. And when the door opened after a long time, Peg came out of the cellar in an injured state. As soon as she came out, Peg told Shu, "They want to take you away because I did not keep my promise. But I do not want to let you die. That is why I decided to sacrifice myself in your place. But now they do not accept me. They want to sacrifice you because you are my successor. And according to the agreement with my husband, I had to give my daughter or my successor to that cult. Now Shu was even more scared. Then seeing Peg's condition, she called Shu. She decides that she will call someone from outside for help. But the whole city was deserted, and the people who were in their houses had closed the windows of their houses because today was a strange festival. In the meantime, Shu sees a strange masked, scary man behind her who was playing drums, and with him were two other men, whose appearance was strange. Both the men were dressed in red clothes. After a while, many cultists wearing strange masks arrive there. Seeing them, Shu runs back to her house in fear. Now the cult members come to her door and start knocking on her door. Frightened, Shu now sees a picture of Jesus Christ in the mirror in front of her, and also a small red cross symbol, which reminds her of her past trauma. Then Shu sees her dead mother, and when her mind gets lost in these thoughts, she picks up a knife to kill herself. But then Peg quickly picks up the knife and stabs herself so that Shu's life can be saved.